What's up? Another day in paradise. Doing Instagram live. We are live. Just chilling out here. The sun is as bright as my future. How's everybody doing today? Gonna bring on another amazing guest and friend to talk about life, wisdom, quarantine, and waiting for my guest to get on, and then it will be a party. You shall wait and see who the guest is. Always fun. Let's see. All right, what's up, Ralph? You gotta request me, and then we can go live. What is up?
Is it connecting?
It is connected, and we are live.
What's up, man? I'm naked, so I hope you don't mind.
I think my
I'm not
viewers might
wearing any
mind, but
clothes.
So
I don't care.
so I've been doing these lives, and I think every few days I have a friend or guest on, and we've been friends for a long time, and we haven't seen each other, so I thought this would be a great way to catch up in public. And
Yeah.
I could ask you a lot of interesting questions, and people could learn about you. And likewise, you could ask me anything that anyone might want to know about me.
Me? I'm not asking any questions.
I know. I'm gonna ask the questions. I'll take it from
I'm like pretty much heat stroking right now.
I know it looks nice where you are. So you're still at home in LA, and so how's the quarantine been for you so far? Have you been really creative? I know you're always working on music. And I saw your new single, the Catching Stars. So what was your whole inspiration behind that to do that?
What?
Your inspiration for doing that single for Catching Stars?
Well, I wanted to write a song. You know how a lot of people have all these songs like, it's Corona time, blah, blah, blah. Like they write a lot of songs with Corona in it and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to write a piece of music. Plus, I actually had to update my whole music system because I've done a lot of film music in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't really produced any like hip new pop music lately, which I really like. Everyone thinks I'm a rocker. I'm not really a rocker. I just played in a rock band, but my background is actually more, I studied classical music, and then I love I did a lot of jazz. I did a lot of funk. Like funk is actually my favorite type of music.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've done a lot of pop, even hip hop. I produced in 2000, I produced like a few hip hop bands.
Mm-hmm.
With one of them, we had a deal actually on the table from Virgin Records for $3.5 million.
Wow.
But then the singer got pregnant. And so, we had to cancel. We couldn't sign the deal. Also, the same manager from the Scorpions actually got the deal for us.
Mm-hmm.
He believed so much in my project that he went shopping with it. So I've been doing pop music all my life. I have almost 80 songs that I've written in feature films too, feature movies. There are like 43 or 42 movies that I did the film score with, like classical music. So almost all of them have like songs of mine in it too. And they're all like EDM, pop, hip hop, rock, even death metal. If you put in my name, Ralph Rieckermann,
Mm-hmm.
and you search for music, you can find all kinds of stuff, including the new song Catching Stars. And I did want to write something about our current situation, but I wanted to write something that makes people feel uplifted, like gives them like a positive vibe and hope, and does not point the finger, like, says like, oh, COVID-19,
Right.
like whatever, like, or like Corona. So, like, I think that's kind of dodgy just to like take advantage of the situation and write a piece of music that says Corona, Corona, because everyone wants to have a funny Corona song in their Instagram story, so that's what they use it for. I didn't want to be one of those guys, you know. So um, my song is really dedicated. I actually might dedicate all the income because I already made, believe it or not, in a couple of weeks, a few $100s of it, of views or whatever. I don't even know how that works,
Mm-hmm.
but because I'm not depend on that money. But I might, you know, dedicate all the incomes to, you know, charity about this, you know, about scientific research. So
Amazing.
like I said, I wanted to write something that talks about our current situation, but gives people hope, gives people like, you know, and also the summery feel because it's spring, it's a beginning of summer, we're all stuck at home, but you still want to sit at home, listen to something that makes you feel like, ooh, you know, like this is cool. This is kind of like a summer hit feel vibe. So, you know,
Right.
and from what I heard, I think I nailed it pretty well. So yesterday I
Yeah.
actually posted it, you
I
know,
know.
on my story thing. I mean, not on my story, on my feed, because I'm really lazy with posts lately. So yeah.
Right. So besides being a rock star in the Scorpions, which we'll talk about shortly, I always find from you, you always have really good life advice and all that. And you know, a lot of people I've been noticing in the news or people that DM me always ask about like they're always depressed or they're down. So what do you like recommend for people to get out of being depressed during this time or people that feel stuck, you know, because there's so much going on in the world? What advice do you have for people to be
Be
uplifted?
creative. You know, like for example, me, I like first of all, I don't think drinking will help you. You know, like you know, like a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
I see, like friends of mine, they drink on a daily basis. They literally turn to the alcoholic. Like
Mm-hmm.
me, I've done the complete opposite. I have not had one single drink in a month and a half because I'm only a social drinker. You know this.
Yeah.
When I'm at home by myself, I never drink.
Yeah.
And I don't do any drugs. I don't even smoke weed. I mean, weed is kind of good, but I think the less, you know, like stuff you put into your body that alters your system, because after every time you drink, the next day you wake up, you're kind of depressed. At
Mm-hmm.
least I am, or like hungover, whatever. So that's number one. Number two is keep yourself constantly busy. I find something every single day, whether it's sitting in the sun, tanning myself, you know, like working out, like swimming or like lifting weights or whatever. Everyone has something at home. Um, uh, you know, like mostly what I do is write music. I downloaded, I bought a new laptop. I downloaded a new software that I didn't really know, that I wasn't familiar with,
Right.
and started from scratch, as I never did music before in my life. Literally, like a little child, I went online for like a few days and did nothing but watch master classes on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how the song came out, you know, like
Right.
because I learned new instruments and new ways of making music, how people make music these days, that I wasn't really familiar with,
Right.
because my way of making music was a little bit dated. So I
Mm-hmm.
updated myself and see what came out. You know, the song I think sounds kind of hip. At least that's what people tell me.
No, that's very true, and that's great advice because you know, it's like even you know with all the experience you've had and success, you're still learning, and it's like that's good advice in a way because like most people just stay stuck and then they always complain and then they get the cycle of depression when you know this is a blessing in a way that you're stuck at home for a month or two and you have all this time to you know pursue your dreams or you know write that screenplay or that song that you always dreamed of, and that's what I always tell people. It's like use the downtime as your uptime, you know, to build yourself mentally, physically, health wise. You know, I think that's what a lot of people don't realize is this is actually a blessing in a way in some ways if you look at it that way and you have that perception, right?
Yeah, plus I'm the kind of guy, you know, I actually spend a lot of time by myself at home anyways.
Mm-hmm.
You know, during the week, the only time I'm really out and about, I know it looks different on my stories, but you know, the because I try to entertain people,
Yeah.
I'm always at home by myself a lot, like working or being creative. So it's to be honest, not that much has changed for me. The only thing that has changed for me is like going out on the weekend with guys like you to like some, you know, like glamorous Hollywood parties, which by the way, I don't think will happen anytime soon again, unfortunately.
I know. I heard the governor said everything's shut down to 2021 now in
Yeah,
California. No,
I probably wait. Did you go with me to the Vanity Fair party?
I did. We went there. That was
Yes,
probably one
yes,
of the
yeah.
best
Okay.
times we had.
Yeah, so we were so lucky to be invited, me and Nitish, to actually attend, probably from what I heard, the last Vanity Fair party ever. Not only because of this pandemic, but also because the magazine is running out of money. Did you hear about that?
I didn't know about that actually.
Yeah.
That's yeah, that's
They
crazy.
announced that this is probably the last party that they had. They're not going to do anymore.
It's crazy. I feel so lucky that we're able to attend such a historic event in a way.
Yep, that was historic.
I know it's
You know,
definitely.
it's really hard for me to see. Is there even any people watching here?
I think
This is a
there
pretty
was a
shitty
few.
time to be live. Like, it's really sunny here, and like, you know, like 4 o'clock in
I know
the
everybody's
afternoon. I think
out.
everyone's out and about doing stuff.
Yeah, but I'm gonna report it anyway and post it later, and then probably we can probably put it on YouTube and stuff so more people can
Oh,
can
okay,
watch
yeah,
it.
cool. Oh, yeah. I don't know how to do that because I never really go live.
Yeah, that's what I was
But I
doing.
think
Like
my audience, they're all out and about right now, probably on the beach or like zooming around somewhere.
I
I
know.
mean,
In fact, we
that's
were just out
my
kayaking and stuff.
impression.
Like
Huh?
we're like on the water. We were just kayaking and stuff right before I did this live.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Everybody's out here, and it's like 80 degrees out. It's just sunny and beautiful, and I feel guilty to even be inside. But we
Yeah,
have to
I
record.
know. I'm outside. I was actually about to jump in the pool. So I think we should maybe continue this unless you have some other
Absolutely.
important questions right now. I'm like about to go jump in the pool myself.
Yeah,
But I see like how many people are watching right now? I can't really see.
it changes all the time,
It
but
changes. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if this is good. I think like more in the evening when people are
yeah.
actually sitting at home. That's a
I
better
think
time to be
I know there's a
live.
lot more people come on more in the evening towards live. The last question I was gonna ask you is before you jump off, and then we'll continue later. Is from being in this like Scorpions, how did that whole thing happen? I always wanted to know for you know.
How did what happened?
Just getting into the Scorpions, being able to play with them, and how was that experience like transform your life? Is that you feel like that's one of the best experiences you had in your life, or
Actually, no. The best experience that I had in my life was like, you know, pretty much my entire life, everything I've done. Because I've always been like kind of like a trendsetter. I've
Mhm.
always been ahead of my times. Like people were always, you know, I was not always the best musician I was always the youngest and least experienced, but I was always the one that had the biggest mouth. You know, I was always saying like, I'm gonna be a big rock star one day, not because I wanted money and fame, but
Mhm.
because I wanted the power of being able to influence and share my opinions, which had a lot to do with saving the planet and, you know, like making the world a better place, which I still believe. And also I think this is a very strong aspect of what's going on in the world right now, because the planet is kind of repairing and has a chance of healing itself with this pandemic. And I
Yeah,
think that's a very, you know, a lot of people underestimate the power of nature, because that's one thing. You know, I'm not very religious. I am religious in a way, but for my religion is the power of nature and the power
yeah.
of the universe. You know,
I'm
I
the
think
same way. I
religion
do.
religion does not want to be labeled or named.
Mhm.
If it did, it would have revealed itself long time ago as one and only. Since there's so many different religions out there that have different beliefs, different gods, different names, it's really hard to put your finger on it and say, okay, this is something I believe in. But what's easy to believe in is the power of nature. It's been there for many years. And this is not our planet. This is a dinosaur planet. We're just
Yeah.
guests here. Okay. I don't even know if we're from this planet, because we're the only part of nature that actually destroy nature.
I know. It's amazing. That's what I think about it too. It's almost like this planet is kind of a gift to us that was given to us, and it's our duty to kind of keep it in that way and treat it like a present, right? It's almost like it's if people believe in a higher power or not, you got to think of it as a gift, and we see that now because there's so many cities where they show there's like no pollution, there's no more trash in the rivers, right? When they did the shutdown, it just shows you how destructive we've been as a species, right? And
Yeah.
it's amazing what's happening right now. I think people are going to start waking up after this 2 or 3 months of being inside and seeing what's going on. I think it's fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so, you know, I think, you know, Mother Nature might be calling out, because we've been putting a lot of pressure. And eventually, you know, if you don't pay attention to your surrounding or to nature, you know, nature will end up killing you.
Yeah.
It's like nature telling us, fuck you, enough is enough, you know, fuck you, we're gonna, you know, like get rid of a few humans now, basically, if you want. And like I said, when I came up, when I started my career, or when I wanted my career, or talked about my career, I was always talking about saving the planet and like being able to have the power of like speaking out to millions of people. It was for me never about money and fame, which most people now are after, and still is not. If you know me, you know me pretty well. I never
Yeah,
speak about money. I don't, I really don't. That's one
exactly.
thing I really don't care about. And so that was always my motivation. And I was the first one and the only one in my entire crew of musicians that said, I'm going to go where I can achieve world fame. And I moved by myself. I sold everything within 1 week to Los Angeles, which everyone told me
That's
was the
crazy.
biggest city in the world for music,
Mhm.
with two suitcases and two guitars, two basses, and without knowing anybody or anything about it. And
Well, I didn't know that about you. That's crazy. I didn't
I
know
was
that.
here 3.5 years illegal. I fought my way through that. At one point, I was even a male prostitute because I had no more money. It's true.
I didn't know that.
Most girls these days, they have all look for sugar daddies. I had a bunch of sugar mamas back in the days. I know exactly how it feels, so
Well, well,
I
you're
have no
lucky because
problem.
I wasn't that handsome to even get a sugar mama. I don't think.
Well, I was pretty good at it. Back in those days, you just had to have long hair. You had to be good on the instrument, and you could have had any girl you wanted.
That's crazy.
And they paid for everything. So, I fought my way through, and then all of a sudden, this guy called me and says, "Hey, Scorpions," which I didn't even know at that time because I'm not a big rocker, said they're
Mhm.
looking for a new bass player. They fired the guy, blah, blah, blah. And before you knew it, within 1 month, I was the fastest rising rock star in the history of music. Within less than 2 weeks, I was on every cover of every magazine
Crazy.
worldwide.
I mean, it just goes to show you can move to LA and you can just manifest it and it happens, right? It's just taking massive action. That's incredible. I didn't know that about
Yeah.
you actually. That's amazing.
and and with the band, then we did a lot of good. A lot of people don't know this, but we spent millions of dollars on starting North of Robbins, which is a thing that dedicates all its power and resources to helping children that are artistic, in Europe
Really?
mostly, but also worldwide now. North of Robbins, and we basically started that whole thing. And it's kind of like Red Cross or whatever in Europe. So the band has done a lot of good things other than music,
Right.
which also helps, like. But anyways, I think let this be enough for now,
Yeah, we'll definitely
because
get this later on. And thank you so much.
yeah.
I think we learned a lot of interesting stuff, and we'll definitely continue this. So have a great
All right,
day. And all right.
I miss you. I miss you. I hope I see you soon. Stay safe in Florida.
I
By the
will.
way, as of 2 weeks ago, my
Uh,
sister, Los
how are you?
Angeles, Los Angeles now is the cleanest city in the world. Okay,
I
the
know. I saw
pollution.
that. That's incredible.
That is fucking amazing.
I
Excuse
mean,
my
you went from
language.
like, that's like from the worst to the best in like no time, right?
I
Overnight.
know. Yeah.
It's
All
crazy.
right.
All
I
right.
gotta go.
All
We'll
right.
talk
Take care.
later. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Do I have to push any buttons or something, or are you
No,
gonna
no,
save
it's
all that?
automatic.